Kings are playing against the Washington Wizards tonight. And Kayla, before I get into a full-on rant about Domantas Sabonis returning and Dennis Schroder being back, and it's not that I'm not happy that both of those two are coming back. It's just what the fallout is going to be from that I'm already, like, my blood is already boiled about. But the Kings are taking on the Wizards. The Kings have won 3 straight. They're in a perfect spot to win 4 in a row. Mm-hmm. And if you care about draft picks and you care about the Tankathon standings, the Wizards are 1 spot ahead of the Kings in the Tankathon standings.
I went thumbs up,
which is bad.
Down.
Yeah, it's like the opposite.
Yeah.
If the Kings win this game tonight, they fall further behind the Wizards and I know people. It's game 42. There's plenty of time, but I can't help myself. I'm not going to pretend to be anything. I'm going into tonight's game going, I hope it's a classic Sacramento Kings game where they play super well against 3 playoff teams and then against a bad team, they just fall apart. I'm actually, for the first time ever in my life, kind of hoping for it tonight.
It's so funny you said that because knowing that they had won 3 in a row, and I have been here long enough to hear stories, and, my brother and sister-in-law had firsthand. I was getting excited in certain games, like to start the season when they'd be ahead for 3 quarters or whatever. And they said, just wait. And then my brother would come back down. So they lost, right? Yeah. Okay. So now, and then you'd have those games again where they'd win a really good game. And then they'd go, the Atlanta Hawks game. And granted, the Hawks are fine. They got completely destroyed early in the season in that Hawks game. So the first thing that came to mind when they won 3 straight and they had the lowly Washington Wizards coming into town today was exactly that. Was, they've won 3 in a row, that they'll probably get destroyed by the Washington Wizards. But I guess I should be internally happy that could possibly happen because, again, the big theme here is we want to see them get a top 3, top 4 pick. Mm-hmm. And it's not going to help if they continue to win and carry momentum. So maybe that's the best thing, Matt.
Well, the good news for the Tank is this. My wife is attending the game tonight, my wife, Brittany, and she has, in all of the years that we've been together, which is over a decade now, she has never been to a Kings win, ever.
Wait, you're kidding me.
Ever. During the Beam Team year, all of that, every single game she has come to, the Sacramento Kings have lost. And she's been to she's probably closing in on 15 games.
Holy smokes.
Point. She has never seen a win, and she's coming tonight. So
you're really happy.
I am paying money.
What if she got sick all of a sudden? Sorry, I don't. But she got a cold or something.
She's still coming to the game. We got to get that loss.
You're like, honey, I don't care. Get some Vicks Vapor Rub. Get some cough drops. You're going to be at this game.
Wear a mask and throw up in the bathroom. We need you in the Golden One Center because we need the Sacramento Kings to lose tonight. My wife, Brittany Lamar, is the Tank commander, and she hates it. She wants to see a win, and poor thing, I brought her to some of the biggest games during the Beam Team season when they had a chance to clinch against the Timberwolves, and they lost. They played terrible. I brought her to a game against the Charlotte Hornets, a game that the Kings absolutely should have won a handful of years ago. They lost. So we'll see if the streak ends tonight or if she can pull through for us now that we actually are rooting for losses a little bit. But on a less fun note, first off, it is a very good thing that Domantas Sabonis is coming back from injury.
Right.
He's been out for the last couple months with a partially torn meniscus. Mm-hmm. He is questionable for tonight's game.
But we're thinking he's going to play.
We don't know for sure.
Okay.
He was a full participant in practice, and what we know about Domantas Sabonis is if he is able to go, he's going to go. Mm-hmm. That's how he's always been, and I admire the heck out of him because he has played through countless injuries over the course of this Beam Team year. He's fought through some things that he's gone Fred Warner on us. He's had injuries that should have been keeping him out longer, and he's come back from them and battled through them. So Domas is a beast in that sense, and it of course is good to see Domantas Sabonis healthy and potentially playing tonight. Dennis Schroder is back from his 3-game suspension after trying to fight Luka Doncic and allegedly actually hitting him in the dark tunnels of the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles in December. But the Kings went 3-0 during the stretch that he was out. I'm this is what my therapist says not to do. I'm preparing myself to be angry because we have enough of a sample size, 41 games into the season, of Doug Christie as head coach and his rotations. And later on in the show, since we are at the midway point, we're going to give out midterm grades for the Kings.
I always hated those in school, by the way.
We'll talk about midterms. Okay. Midterms are the worst.
Yikes.
We have midterm grades for the Kings, and we'll give Doug Christie a grade amongst a lot of other people. But we know Doug's rotations have been very veteran heavy.
Right.
I don't necessarily blame Doug for not necessarily wanting to, as a first-time head coach, go to Dennis Schroder, who literally will punch people, apparently.
Yes, he will.
Or
I want him as my bodyguard.
or DeMar DeRozan or Zach LaVine and go, look, I'm not playing you tonight, or I'm pulling some of your minutes because we need to transition to a youth movement. Doug, from working with Doug here in radio, I know for a fact that he hates tanking, hates it, hates the idea of it. So it probably disgusts him to even consider that. Mm-hmm. Plus, Doug wants to win basketball games because that's the best way he keeps his job.
Yes.
So all signs point to, if Domantas Sabonis comes back and plays tonight, of course, he's right back into the starting lineup, unless he's on some sort of minutes restriction, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. Dennis Schroder comes back, he should be right back into that off-the-bench point guard role that Malik Monk has been excelling in over the last few games, which is the role that he's been so good in as the sixth man for the Kings through going back to the Beam Team years. The worst thing that can happen, other than the Kings going on a massive win streak, in my opinion, is these veterans coming back and pushing guys who have been playing better or guys that are part of your future to the side. Yet we started yesterday's show with the report that I got that Malik Monk the Kings are comfortable keeping Malik Monk around, that they're not shopping him actively right now. And we debated whether that was posturing, damage control, whatever. What are the optics of Dennis Schroder coming back and Malik Monk goes right back to DNPs after information like that gets out? Optically, it looks terrible.
Yeah, it looks really bad, and it looks almost like strategically planted.
Mm-hmm. And then you have Domantas Sabonis come back, and that pushes Maxime Reynaud out of the starting lineup. That's
not good.
I would expect that. Yeah, but Max is still going to play.
Sure.
But then that pushes Dylan Cardwell basically to Stockton. Like, you're going back to Stockton. And during this win streak, Malik Monk and Dylan Cardwell, second only to DeMar DeRozan, have been the best, most consistent, impactful parts of what the Sacramento Kings have done over these last two games. Now, on one hand, I'm like arguing against myself because, well, they're helping you win games, so get them out of here.
Right.
But if there's any silver lining to the Kings winning basketball games, when they're doing it on the backs of some of their younger guys. Malik's not a younger guy. He's been in the league for 9 years. But Dylan Cardwell is in his first year and is been massively impactful. Maxime Reynaud has been massively impactful as the starting center. What I don't want to see, what will boil my blood, is these veterans coming back, dominating the minutes. DeMar DeRozan played 41 minutes the other night.
That's unnecessary.
Russell Westbrook played 38 minutes. Zach LaVine played almost 37 minutes the other night. If these veterans come back and Doug just pushes all these young guys basically to the wayside again before the trade deadline, one, maybe that forces Scott Perry's hand to make a trade or not, I don't know. But regardless, that is counterproductive to what the Sacramento Kings need to be doing right now.
It's extremely counterproductive for this reason as well, Matt. Development, which is what is a big part of the word usage that is for this team moving forward, and what hopefully Doug Christie says he wants to continue to do. You've been doing it recently.
Yeah.
You've been developing.
Yeah.
You've seen some of your big guys, your young big guys. You just mentioned Maxime Reynaud. You just mentioned Dylan Cardwell. Because they've had some consistent time and minutes on the floor and together consistent time and minutes on the floor, we've started to see an increase of their productivity. And I feel like it is counterproductive for the sole reason that when you start then chopping that up again and you don't allow the flow or the building to continue, because then, we're going to drop back some vets to give them all their minutes, then I do feel like there is almost like they're going to go backwards a little bit.
Yeah. Because
you can't build on that. And that's why maybe we've seen the winning streak, or that we don't want. So I guess you do go back and forth with this just because of the win part of it. But the development part is what we need to see the most moving forward. That is the future, is the youth of this team.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really hard to see if they're just completely chopped up again in terms of minutes, and we're just not seeing that development.
And the counter argument, or one of the counter arguments to that I've heard to these thoughts or these feelings of mine are, Matt, there's so much time left in the season. The Kings can get past the trade deadline, get into March, get into April, and then they just start playing the young guys exclusive minutes, and they're losing every night. There's a big difference, though, to playing all of your young guys in games where you're losing by 20 every night, or you're getting beat up in the first quarter against a team's starters, and then they pull their starters and it's whatever.
Yeah.
Versus, like, I'm not arguing for the Sacramento Kings to lose every game by 15 points. I want a balance of the young players with the veterans, like we've been seeing, to be fair, out of necessity. Yeah. Maxime Reynaud has been starting with the veterans out of necessity because Domantas Sabonis is hurt, and he's succeeded. So I want to see them getting this opportunity and this experience in close games that may go down to the wire. Hopefully the Kings lose, because that's what's best for the organization, but at least they're getting the experience against top-tier talent in meaningful games down the stretch. Mm-hmm. And I just worry now the veterans are coming back, and even if the games are still close, those opportunities are going to be fewer and far between for players that not only need it, but have excelled in it. Exactly. And you want to accelerate their development as much as you possibly can.
And it's just it's a mixed message in a way, because I know they understand when players go down, they're going to get more minutes. But then it's like, okay, are we going to continue to develop, or are we just going to do this all season long? Because what if no one's moved? What if no one's moved?
Yeah.
And we're talking about this.
That's a disaster.
Down the road.
That's a disaster. If we get through the trade deadline and the Kings don't make some at least a significant move, there might be riots in the streets of Sacramento. Well,